Hey guys, this is Ashley and thank you for coming back to my channel. So if you don't know, my name is Ashley and I go by Dr. Ash, but the Dr. Ash is from because I'm a pharmacist. So I have a doctor in pharmacy, just in case you guys are wondering, because I know a lot of people are just kind of stepping in and might be new to my channel. So thank you for checking me out. So today I have a wonderful video for you guys planned, and I got this palette out of FOMO, and I know I'm late to the party, but you know, sometimes that's fine, okay? Because you can appreciate it a little bit more when you're a little bit later versus just going out on a whim and buying something. So I'm talking about the new Natasha Denona, and this is a limited edition palette, Metropolis palette, okay? So this is basically like her holiday release. So she released this beauty about 2 months ago now, I wouldn't say at this point. And this is the wonderful unicarton that the palette comes in. It is basically keeping up with the theme of the palette, and I'm sure by now you have seen it, okay? And then once you open up the palette, you get this beautiful packaging. It kind of comes standard with Natasha Denona as far as the leather packaging, hardbound palette. It's gorgeous. It's murky in tone. You have a little shimmer with it. It's blue-green goodness, and I just think it's so beautiful. Only problem is you see my fingerprints are all over it, okay? So once you open it up, you have these delicious 28 shades. And so the reason why I said I wasn't originally going to pick it up is because this whole side of the palette to me looks like the Colored Rain Safari Rain palette, okay? And I do own that. Then this whole side to me looks like basically a lot of palettes that I do have, okay? But overall, I think it's a beautiful palette. But I was just like, you know, you just try to hold out and try to talk yourself out of things. So I was really trying hard, okay? But I bought the palette out of FOMO, okay? But I'm pleased to say that I only paid $61 for this palette. How do you ask? Okay, well, Sephora was running its VIB sale, and I said, well, okay, if I get it, it's got to be on sale, okay? And I need to pay less than $100. So Sephora was running its VIB sale, and I get 20% off because, you know, I'm Rouge, and we just going to talk about that later, okay? So I got my 20% off the palette. And during the same time frame, Ebates gave us our, I guess it would be like our third quarter check for the year, and Ebates actually gives you some chances to turn your cash back. Instead of doing a PayPal or doing a traditional paper check, you can redeem it for a store gift card, and you get a little percentage boost on it. So I decided to get the Sephora gift card because, you know, why not? And it puts right back into this channel. So I had about $50. So I had 20% off, then I had the $50. So that made the palette $61 after taxes. So I am very happy about that, okay? And so far I have been playing around this palette, and I do have some interesting thoughts about it. I think it's a good palette overall. Spoiler alert, okay? So Natasha Denona said that this palette is actually going to be limited edition, but you know, sometimes the things hang around a little bit longer if they are very well loved, like the gold palette, okay, for instance, and maybe even the sunrise palette. So this has 28 shades in it, and it features a wide variety of textures and different formulas. You know that I feel like the formulas are very important when we're talking about eyeshadows, because that basically dictates how you're going to work with them and what type of looks you could create and your experience when using a palette. The formula is very important, because if you're not understanding the formula of a eyeshadow, you know, you might not just have the best experience with it, and you might be upset, and you like, well, this ain't worth nothing, okay? So I think everybody has been there when they haven't understood how to work with a particular formula. So that being said, there are one new formula that is introduced in this palette, and that is the cream to powder formulation. So if you look closely, you know, Natasha Denona, she puts this little plastic insert over the shadows, and that is so you know the names of it. But if you see, like, a lot of the formulas, they have numbers, and then it has like a letter behind it, so those are the codes, so you know what type of formulas they are. And so like M is for metallic, and then you have CM, which are the cream mattes that she said before, but then we have the cream to powder formulations, okay? So this palette is a good mix of mattes, shimmers. You have a couple duochromes, you have a chroma crystals, but mostly you're having the cream to mattes and the cream to powder formulations in this palette. You might also notice that the price is a little bit different because the 28 pan palettes that Natasha Denona has previously released, like the blue brown palette, was $230. And it's like, oh, ouch. I'm not trying nothing for $230. I'm sorry, I draw the line there, okay? But she has recently been kind of like scaling her palettes down. And when I mean scaling them down, she has been cutting the amount of product in half to bring us a great well, this is not affordable. Let's just be, okay. So she's cut the product down to make the palette price point less expensive with keeping the same great formula, okay? So this palette actually retails for $129, like I said. Previously, the 28 pan palettes retail for $230. So as far as product difference, in this palette you have 1.35 ounces of product, and this palette comes in at 38.5 grams for $129. Previously, the palettes were 2.47 ounces, and it was 70 grams of product for $239. And at the end of the day, if you're a true makeup lover, we just don't need all of that product because it takes a moment to go through an eyeshadow, especially if you're using it or you're using other different things and you're not just constantly dipping into the same shade. And we have 28 shades right here. So I appreciate that she is bringing the price point down and making it more affordable for people to try her brand. Because if you're a makeup lover, you want to try the brand, okay? So I don't want to ramble too much because we have the 28 swatches to get into, and then you know I'm going to at least bring you about 3 looks at the minimum, maybe more, don't hold me to it. So let's go ahead and get swatching this palette. First up, we have Rust, which is a metallic shade. This is a beautiful bronze shade right here. Then we have Troop, which is a cream to powder formulation. Next up we have Orion, which is a duochrome. And this is a beautiful, like it has a green gold shift. Next up we have Shield, which is a metallic shade. It's a beautiful olivey metallic shade. Then we have Ripe, which is a cream matte. We have Stain, which is a cream to powder. And if I note, the cream to powder definitely feels creamier than the cream to matte type of formulation. It has definitely a more emollient, more wet feeling to it. Ace is a metallic shade. We have Rope, which is a cream to matte. I'm sorry, I got these so out of order. Okay, so this is actually Mace, and this is a metallic shade. And then this is Fuse. This is a metallic shade. And then here is Rope on my middle finger. I definitely started with my third finger first. And then this is a cream to matte, and it's like you can barely see it on my skin complexion. Lethal is a cream to powder finish. Penny is a metallic shade, and it definitely looks like a nice bronze penny. And then we have Crimson, which is a matte. I'm sorry, this is a cream to matte. We have Aqueous, which is a metallic shade. Woo! This looks like water, so it's living up to its name, Aqueous. Ooh. Then we have Queen, which is also a metallic shade, and it's actually really pretty. Nice, pretty champagne-y shade amongst all the golds and bronzes. And this is Blaze. This is a more of a crystal shade. We have Noble, and Noble is a metallic shade. The metallics are very smooth. We have Imperia. Imperia is also a metallic. It's a beautiful antique green gold. Then we have Riz Chrome, which is a cream matte. That is gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that is amazing. That is beautiful. We have Crest, which is a metallic shade. Enigma, which is a cream to powder. Oh man, that is beautiful. Okay, these deep mattes, whew, these are beautiful. Then we have Pure, which is a cream to powder. And cream that's pretty much like my skin complexion. We have Asiac, which is a cream to powder. And this definitely looks more olivey brown. But it is pretty fair and kind of matches up against my skin complexion. And then we have Jubilee, which is a beautiful metallic. Ooh, very pretty. Then we have Symbol, which is also a cream to powder. That's beautiful as well. This one, they are not, these deep tones are very gorgeous. We have Rhizome, which is a cream to matte. It's a nice mustardy color. It's not that bold though. I'm gonna try to build it up. Then we have Claret, which is a metallic red. Ooh, and you know I love shades that look like that. Then we have Helena, which is a chroma crystal. Last but not least, we have Antique, which is a cream to powder. And here are the rest of the swatches. Okay, eyelids are prime using my Too Faced concealer, that multi-sculpting concealer in the shade Butterscotch. And I'm going in with a clean number 17. You see, it's clean, y'all see? Look how clean it is. Ooh, but we're gonna dirty it up right now. So I wanna go ahead and do kind of like a variety of looks. And right now I'm gonna start with my never fail look. You know, when all else fails, like you don't know what to do. This look, you know, it works. It just works, okay? And it just shows off the versatility of the palette. So going in, Wayne Goss number 17, I am going to pick up the shade Chrism, which is a cream to powder. Sorry, so this little name chart is gonna like get on my nerves, but I'm gonna go in with this shade. And now my palette looks all dirty and dusty because I sat here and swatched it. You know, I like my palettes to be kind of clean looking. So this is what the shade looks like on the brush. And we're just going to kind of start this off in the crease. So from what I've been noticing, this is the cream to powder. They are, the pigment is not always there, sometimes immediately, but it definitely builds up. And these cream to powders, and I think this is why everybody has really just been loving it, it's very nice on eyelids, you know, especially if you have like folds. I don't have too many folds, but I have a couple right in there, little lines. And then like, of course, because I have like a hooded eyelid, I just have extra skin right there, and I've always had it. It's not like something pretty much directly from aging, but they just settle so nice and they look very smooth and they blend out very easily. But if you want any type of intense pigmentation, you do kind of have to, you know, be a little patient to blend it, to build it up. But they do blend out very nice, as you can see. So it's not something you have to really be worried about. So I'm going to just wipe off that brush and my little makeup towel. And that's going to be dirtied up too. I just took it out of the wash yesterday. I'm going to go in with the shade Ripe, which is a more orange shade, deeper terracotta orange. I'm just going to use the same brush. And what's nice about it is like they don't have a whole lot of kick up. Ripe is also a cream to matte. This little thing is going to drive me crazy. Okay, so but you don't have so much kick up. You see it, most of that right there is from me dipping my finger in, but this is like minimum kick up. Okay, now I'm just gonna kind of angle it down and you see how nice it builds up. Like you get a lot of pigment with some of the brighter colors, but they just smooth out so well. So I have been wearing the palette to work since I've received it, and this is one of the looks I did. It'll probably be a little bit bolder just because we're on camera, but or it may not be, I don't know, whatever, we'll see. I don't know what to say, but like I said, it's like my never fail look for most palettes. You know, you got a nice terracotta orange. We're gonna throw that in the crease. I'm gonna build it up. I'm gonna go in with my Sonia G Blender Pro. Just fuse out the edge. This brush doesn't have any product on there. Now going in with my Worker Pro by Sonia G, I am going to take the shade Antique. This is Antique right here, and this is actually one of the deepest browns. This is actually a cream to powder formulation. I'm going to place it here. Now, a little part of me does wish the brown was a tiny bit deeper. Like I could have dipped this brown, and then one of the other browns could have been just kind of traded out for something a little bit deeper. But overall, this is a nice brown. Because all your other really dark colors are very jewel tone in nature. And these cream to powders, what is this? Is this a cream to powder? Yeah, they wipe off, they just blend in so nice. They just, look how, it just looks so seamless. Like you could just tell that the formula is a little different. It's not powdery, it just melts into the skin so nicely. Going in with the shade Rust, very first shade in the palette right here. And this shade is a metallic. I'm going to place this all over the lid. I'm going to use my little favorite Tarte brush that I use for all of my shimmers. And just sweep this across the lid. And these are just so foiled. Just foiled goodness. You're going to kind of just bring it up and over. Now this is not wet, but you can definitely go ahead and wet it if you like. And I'm going to just go back in with that number 17 brush, just kind of fuse out the edges, pull that orange shade up a little bit. And we are done. So that is the look number 1. Okay, so let's get started on the second eye. I have primed it using that same concealer. Going back in with that Wayne number 17, I've wiped it off thoroughly in my little towel. So I'm going to go in with this mustard shade that's called Red Zone. And this is a cream to matte powder right here. This is Red Zone. I'm going to pick it up. And this shade, from what I've noticed, it just gives you a little hint of definition. It doesn't super show up, as you can see from when I did the swatches, but it does give you a little something. As you know, I love mustard shades, but I just haven't really met a mustard that has looked wonderful on my complexion and just been like, yes, that's mustard. However, I do understand that my primer is a little bit more on my skin color, so we'll see. I did order the P. Louise base. I was finally able to get 2 of them. So I ordered my skin complexion in a lighter one. I have the Anastasia base, but I don't really care for it. So it always creases on me. Same brush, wiped it off. Going in with this beautiful green shade. This is called Lethal right here. And Lethal is a cream to powder formulation. And I'm just going to go down and throw that right up here in this part of the crease. This is closer really to my brow bone. Now I find this shade is really pretty, but it's very muted. It's going to pick up a little bit more. It can be built up, but this green is not scary. So that's kind of like the good thing somewhat between some of these shadows. Like they can look very intimidating, but you can definitely build them up. You know, you don't have to worry about some of them being so intimidating, other than, you know, some of those bright jewel tone mattes that we have. But some of these other shades, you're like, oh, okay. Nice wash of color. I'm now going to go ahead with my lid shade. I am going to go in with the shade Imperial, which is a metallic. Now this is one of the shades that definitely caught my attention right here. And I'm going to go ahead and use the My Sonia G, and this is my Builder Pro brush. This brush is amazing for shimmers. And I'm just going to kind of pat it on first. And I love this olivey gold tone. It's so pretty. I'm just kind of being careful so I don't get any fallout. That's why I'm kind of patting and then pressing, and I'll just kind of swoop in. And this is just a very light, beautiful, effortless look. And the way these blend out, it kind of looks like you put a lot of effort into it.